Hey y'all. I had discussed this with my friend a while ago, and let's talk about altars and let's also talk about alcohol, right? Um, in general, if you are being sober in any form or capacity, understand that your people are okay without you having things that if you struggle with alcoholism, they'll be okay that there is no alcohol on the altar. And I say that because with COVID, long COVID especially, but like anyone who has had COVID and my inability, let me talk about myself, my inability to metastasize alcohol, which means I get hungover in ways that I never got hungover before. Um, I don't have alcohol often in the grid. And I also think about this for people who are going sober or who have had addiction issues and can't put it as an offering on the altar. So that's the backstory. I went into research through also having another conversation with someone else where I'm like, what's up really with that there are certain alcohols that I can enjoy and I don't feel I'll feel up to 3 to 5 days of alcohol induced depression. There's no other description of that. And I'll just very low. I'll go real low for a long time. And so when I looked up, I researched a brown liquor, right? That I don't usually drink. And when I looked at the history of this, it was Crown. When I looked up the history, after getting a really bad, like a depressive episode, that's what it felt like. And I looked at the history of it. Because if we think about alcohol and binge drinking, a lot of it was used historically to give to slaves so that they wouldn't be sober, right? And that they wouldn't think about getting free. And so it would feel like a party, it would feel like a reprieve, but then you're hungover the next day. There's no moment for you to really be like, fuck this shit, I want to do this no more, right? And so I look into the history of like Crown. It's like, it has the year on it or whatever, 1800s, whatever the year is. And I'm like, it's a Canadian based rum celebrating Queen Elizabeth's first if put two and two together. Right? But overall, you'll notice that I've tried black owned, I've tried minority owned alcohols, and I don't feel the same way. Why is that? And so you also have to consider the history, who's creating it, and the why behind the alcohol, right? Especially if they're like, we've been around since 1800. 1800 what? Because that affects how you feel when you're taking it in. But I also think I wouldn't want to put that on my altar for my spirit specifically, because of the way that the body responds to it. And they're a lot more flexible than you think. And so you can't put a cigar because you're working on not smoking. They're okay. I promise you. Everybody that you work with wants your well-being. You are the first altar. And so things to consider, you can have a alcohol-free altar. Bring something else. They also like cider. Who don't like apple juice? Who don't like martinellis and ciders and things? And so something I wanted to share, something I wanted you to consider of like, pay attention to the way that your body responds to things. Because if you're down for the next 3 days because you had too much to drink, was it really worth it? I don't know. For me, it feels more like a poison. I don't got time to be depressed for the next 3 to 4 days. And so, yeah, a little something from the altar of astrolophysics.